Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, but still ending every day exhausted, overwhelmed, and behind schedule? You work alone. You make all the decisions. You carry all the pressure. And somehow, productivity feels harder than ever. What if the real problem isn't your workload, but the way your brain is wired to handle it? Today, I'm going to show you how a simple shift in mindset can completely transform your productivity, creativity, and mental energy as a solopreneur. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future book breakdowns that can genuinely change the way you think, work, and live. Let's begin. The solopreneur reality. Most people don't realize this when they start their solopreneur journey. You are a pioneer. The internet gave us access to tools, platforms, and global audiences that never existed before, but it also dropped us into uncharted territory. You're the CEO, you're the marketer, you're the accountant, you're the creative, you're the problem solver, all at once. So the real question becomes, how do you get more out of your brain without burning out? The answer starts with how you think. How mindset directly changes productivity. Your brain has limits. One of them is working memory, the amount of information you can hold and manipulate at once. For most people, it's about 5 to 7 items. This is why you feel overwhelmed when everything feels urgent. But here's the trick. You don't increase productivity by forcing more effort. You increase it by reframing information. This is where a powerful technique comes in: chunking. Instead of remembering separate pieces of information, your brain groups them into one meaningful unit. For example, instead of remembering 2 and 3, your brain remembers 23. Same information, less mental load. As a solopreneur, this means grouping tasks into systems instead of thinking in endless to-do lists. How to unlock creativity without trying harder. Another invisible productivity killer is something called functional fixedness. It means you see things only for what they normally are, not what they could be. A hammer is just for nails, until suddenly it isn't. When you label tools, resources, or even your own skills too narrowly, you limit creativity. Instead of asking, "What tools do I have?" ask, "What raw materials do I have?" Suddenly, options expand. This mindset shift is critical when you're solving problems alone, because creativity is often the difference between growth and stagnation. Using your mind to control stress and overwhelm. Here's where things get really powerful. Your brain doesn't know the difference between something real and something vividly imagined. When you visualize yourself running, the same brain areas activate as if you were actually moving. This is why dancers, athletes, and performers rehearse mentally. And this is why stress feels so real, even when nothing bad is happening yet. You don't feel stressed because of debt. You feel stressed because you're imagining the worst possible outcome. But the same mechanism works in your favor. When you focus on the plan, not the panic, your nervous system calms down. When you visualize finishing a task and feeling relief, focus improves. Half your mind stays in the present, the other half stays focused on the future outcome. This is how solopreneurs stay productive without anxiety controlling them. The missing piece: real rest. Here's a truth most solopreneurs ignore. If you think about work, your body thinks you're working. If you think about an angry client, your body thinks you're in danger. That means constant stress, constant fatigue, and no real recovery. To truly recharge, you must fully disengage mentally. True rest isn't laziness, it's a biological requirement for focus, creativity, and long-term success. Learning to shut your mind off is a skill, and one of the most important ones you can develop. Growth mindset, the final shift. Finally, there's one belief that separates successful solopreneurs from those who quit: the growth mindset. Being bad at something doesn't mean it's not for you. It means you haven't learned it yet. Business is not talent-based, it's skill-based, and skills can be learned through reading, through courses, through doing. Even small experiments, like selling something simple online, teach you real-world business principles. Surround yourself with people who know more than you. Learn continuously, and remember, Growth is always possible. If you found value in this breakdown, subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel grow and ensures you never miss powerful ideas like this. The book link is available in the description if you want to dive deeper. And now I want to hear from you. What is the one book that changed your life? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one.